Wisconsin-Whitewater. This is the UW-Whitewater Quarterback Club and KOOL 106.5 Coaches Show. Gary Douglas along with Josh Smith. And by the way, before we get to our student athletes here this evening, a quick reminder that we'll be on the road again, but we have a special program next week because we'll be playing football 1 week from tonight. Or actually, they'll be playing football. And that will be down at Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa. So our coaches program and quarterback club next week will be on Tuesday night, and it'll be at Sax's on Highway 12, northwest of Whitewater. So hope to see everyone at Sax's Tuesday night. Same drill, we'll have the social hour at 6, and the program will be at 7 o'clock. I'd like to welcome to the program this evening junior quarterback Chris Nelson.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Chris. And junior defensive end John Flood. John, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, I got to make sure your mic is up. Say that again.
Hello.
There you go. We decided to go with a two-headed monster here this evening. Let's start with Chris. You had an opportunity last year to work behind Matt Barron. And you had an opportunity, actually, with the way the season worked out, you had quite a few snaps last year. And how did that work for you in the development of where you are today?
Right. I mean, coming into Whitewater, I knew Matt was in front of me, and I knew I was going to have a chance to work with him and all that. And getting into the games was definitely huge for me. Getting that experience going in, he got to teach me a lot. I think that going into the season, that really helped me a lot. Just get that game experience. So going in the first game, it wasn't just a big shock, and I felt like I've been there before.
Well, and we got to talk for a halftime segment, Chris, about the way you got to participate in training camp last year as Matt was dealing with an injury. You got a lot of work with the first teamers as well, and that kind of helped speed things along too, right?
Right, yeah. Last year in spring ball, I got to take most of the reps with all the ones also last year while Matt was recovering. And I think that was huge, just kind of working with all the guys, just getting to know them and kind of having them have me as their quarterback. So it was like, it was definitely helpful for this season.
Now, Chris, is it mandatory that the quarterback has his #1 receiver as his roommate? So we've kind of had that the last couple of years here at Whitewater. Is that the way it's supposed to work?
I guess so. I guess that's how it's been and how it's going to be. Me and Joe, we've been pretty good friends. Before we lived together, and then this year we decided we might as well move in with each other, get that chemistry even better.
Yeah, Joe had mentioned when we had him on the show a couple weeks ago that you guys had a chance to work quite a bit in the off season, just throwing and working out some things together.
Right, yeah, so we both stayed here all summer, and I think that was huge. We were able to, we pretty much threw almost every day out on the field, in the stadium, and really working on our timing and our routes and all the rhythm. I think that was huge, and it'll probably pay off this season.
Do you feel disappointed that you only got a chance to throw about a half dozen times on Saturday?
I mean, got to execute the game plan. Got to do what to say.
Yeah, he knows his offensive coordinator is sitting back there, so he knows the right things to say. John, first of all, thank you for joining us here tonight. And I'll tell you what, you have had a great career so far, being one of those many rotating defensive linemen. How's that worked out for you?
Works out pretty good. It keeps us fresh during the game, and so we're able to be effective later into the games in the fourth quarter. We're still fresh when the opposing team's offensive line is getting worn out, and really helps us out. Work with chemistry with the D line, and yeah, works pretty good for our defense.
You had 2 sacks right away against Belhaven. How does it feel to get off to a good start individually with your season?
It feels good to come out of the gate strong like that. It gives me a lot of confidence, but anything I accomplish on the field is just a product of our entire defensive line working together. I can't do without them, and they can't do without me, and then the rest of the defense too. The defensive backs had a great game covered, and Coach Erickson called a great game, so it's a great effort from the whole defense. So I think we're prompted for a strong start to the season from the defense. You
have an interesting perspective, John, because your position coach last year is now the head coach this year. Have you seen any difference with Coach Bullis at all?
Well, I see him coming by the D-line drills a little bit. He looks like he misses us a little bit. But no, I'm extremely happy for Coach Bullis. I thought he was the perfect man for the job, and I think he's done an amazing job.
And how about working with Coach Erickson? Being a candidate for the head coaching job and now taking over the defense. How have you guys fit in playing with him?
Yeah, I actually thought if Coach Bull didn't get the job, that I was hoping Coach Erickson would get it. So when I found out we got him as D coordinator, I was just ecstatic. He's been great. I mean, filling Coach Borland's old shoes, those are some pretty big shoes to fill, but he's come in and done a great job. He's a mastermind on defense, and he's done a great job of implementing his system and getting everybody to buy into it. And first game, I thought he called a great game, and really excited for the rest of the season with him.
John, what attracted you to Whitewater to come to play football and go to school?
Well, really, I want to come here to play for Coach Bolus. Was a deciding factor. To be honest, obviously great education and a great football tradition, but I don't know, when you're getting recruited to play college football, there's a lot of coaches that'll blow smoke at you and tell you what you want to hear. But after coming here and getting recruited by Coach Bolus, I went home with my folks and they said, you got to go play for that guy. He's gonna set you right on the field, make you a great player, and he's gonna make you a great man off the field too. So I'd say that was probably the deciding factor for me.
Did you have a lot of schools that were looking at you when you were coming out of high school?
Well, I actually transferred here from another school, and I probably had, or like when I was transferring, I had narrowed down to about 3 schools that I was considering, and then Whitewater ended up being the perfect fit for me. And ever since I've gotten here, I've loved every minute of it. It's been a great decision.
Chris, you kind of grew up right in the backyard of Whitewater here, not too far away. What attracted you to come and play for the Warhawks?
Right. Out of high school, I also went to a different school and then made the transfer back. And something that really was attractive, obviously, is the tradition here at Whitewater, the winning tradition. And that really made me want to come here. And then as soon as I got on campus, got visiting, talked with the coaches, I knew this was a place for me. And then obviously, because I'm a business major, so it's a great business school for that. So that really fit for me too.
For the school you started at, Chris, is a Division II school in northern Michigan. Have you compared the two divisions very much? Does Division II differ much from Division III, or?
Right. I mean, you definitely think about it. You see the talent there, and you see it here. And honestly, I think Whitewater has great athletes here that would easily be able to compete at the Division II level. I mean, really didn't see much of a difference.
Chris, you have a lot of great younger quarterbacks. Now you're kind of in the leadership position here. We saw Zach Gahan play quite a bit in the ball game on Saturday, and I thought he accounted for himself pretty well as well. What do you feel your position is with working with someone? You got a lot of freshman quarterbacks on the roster right now. How do you feel that falls into your job description, so to speak?
Right, yeah. I mean, me and Zach, we're pretty good friends off the field too, and then so me and him are both kind of working together, working with those freshmen, and I think those guys, they like to learn, they like to listen, and I mean that's fun for us. That's fun for us at practice to get to help and work with them and teach them the ropes basically of being a quarterback.
John, what's it like working with some of the younger players? I know you got a couple of freshmen that are on the defensive line right now too.
Yeah, sure. We had a great group of incoming freshmen on the defensive line, so it's pretty cool to be able to work with them, because I remember when I was a young player, just starting to get in the rotation, I had Musa Maned and Marshall Rutherford, Mike Ratchett, guys like those teach me how to play D-line, and they did a good job. So it's, for me, it's important to me to pass on that tradition and show them the skill sets that they can be effective D-linemen here when me and Franz and Tamsin are all gone.
John, as I was preparing some stuff, looking over your guys' bios, I saw a lot of common interests that I see on a lot of profiles, but the one thing that stood out was yoga. You said, how do you work yoga into your routine? How does it help you play on the defensive line?
Yeah, so I've always obviously been big into weightlifting pretty much since middle school, and then a couple summers ago I was like, you want to go to yoga with me? I'm like, I'll give it a shot, I guess. I went, and it actually was great because I've had some problems with my knees, and it's really helped build flexibility, core strength, and it's huge for playing D-line because those are important things you got to be able to bend to get around offensive linemen. So it's I don't know, I guess it's not normal for a football player to do, but for me it's been pretty effective in my training program.
Good for you. Hey, this is go to either one of you two guys, actually both of you. You both have new coordinators this year, and Chris, of course, you got a lot of reps, and John did too last year. Any big terminology changes or any scheme or style changes, or was it pretty much a smooth transition?
No, I think it was really smooth. I think Coach Smith did a great job of kind of coming in and learning a lot of our old terminology. He really adjusted to what we were doing, and I mean he brought his own stuff and his own type of terminology too. But I thought it was a really good transition of learning those little wrinkles and stuff that he wants to bring to the program.
Yeah, I'd say same with Coach Erickson. He's done a great job of molding his philosophy with what we've done here in the past. I think he's a 4-3 guy at heart, and he had to run at 3-4 at Claypool because that was what his head coach wanted. But he coaches the 4-3 great, and we've kept most of the same language. So yeah, the system's working great.
Chris, we talked a little bit about the relationship you have with your wide receivers, but you need an offensive line to keep you upright. What's your relationship like with the old linemen? Do you do anything with them after practice and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are all veterans on this team, and I think that alone has helped me through this process, just having them have all those game experiences. I mean, we have all 5 of those guys have started 30-plus games, and I think definitely over the last spring and then this year we've definitely gotten a lot closer and hanging out all the time and stuff, so I think the relationship's it's good and it's still growing.
Do you have to take them to dinner if they keep you from being sacked or anything like that?
Yeah, we're definitely talking. We were talking about it after this last game. They're saying, "Oh, no sacks. Looks like we're gonna have to go out to dinner or something. Some steak dinners." I don't know if that's in the budget.
Probably a steak taco or something like that. How difficult was it for you guys? I saw your scrimmage, which I think was almost a month ago now, and getting such a late start to this season. And you heard us when we were talking with Coach just earlier that I thought you guys came out really sharp both offensively and defensively. How difficult was that wait to see all the high schools already playing football, all the D1 schools already playing football, and you guys haven't even taken a snap for real yet? Right,
yeah, it was tough. It was tough definitely that first week when all the D3 schools were starting up too, and we had to watch and see all the WEAC schools playing. And I mean, it was tough. It was tough grinding through those practices, but I think that's what, I mean, we were excited. We were excited to get out there and play somebody else.
How was it for you, John?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good adversity. I mean, the whole first part of our schedule is going to be a lot of adversity, so that's going to help us grow as a team and hopefully give us some good strength going into the conference schedule here.
Yeah, because that's coming up shortly too, before you know it. So, anything else, Josh?
Yeah, just one more thing, John. I saw that you were a WIAC honor roll member, and I was wondering, do you give any advice to some of the younger players on how to balance playing football and getting your work done in the classroom?
Yeah, I just tell them, the classroom is more important than the football field at the end of the day, because most of us aren't going to go to the professionals for football, so we're going to need your education is going to be your foundation for your life, really, your career, and how you're going to provide for your family. So.
All right, very good. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to let you get back to your food, and thanks for coming out tonight. John Flood and Chris Nelson, defensive end and quarterback, respectively, here on the coaches program. Thank you, guys. We will take a break, and when we come back in just a couple of minutes, we'll talk to the new offensive coordinator, Craig Smith. He'll be joining us as the coaches show and quarterback club continues here from the 841 Brew House in Whitewater. After this on KOOL 106.5 and online at 940WFAW.com.